Anybody with some updates? Aha, she's coming.
I'd like to add to what she just said about get out there and vote. Not just vote, but volunteer. All of our candidates, especially our local candidates that are running for the various state houses, the State House of Representatives, don't get a whole lot of support from the state. The state's focused on the statewide candidates. Our local candidates, and you have a number of them in Greenwood. Abbeville just has one because Abbeville's not big enough to have a state house district on its own. Abbeville has to add part of Anderson and part of Lawrence to have a district. But all of our candidates, local candidates, candidates for State House of Representatives, all of our candidates need volunteers. Where there's volunteers to knock on doors, volunteers to do phone banking, to make calls on the phone, volunteers for whatever way you can, even just to put up a yard sign. But we need volunteers. Most of I can't speak for Jamel, maybe she's got lots of volunteers, I don't know. My guess is she could use more too. I know that Jessica Beasley needs a lot more volunteers. I've only got about 4 people doing phone banks, and I've got not as many as Greenwood, but still I've got 20 precincts. That's a lot of calls to make. Volunteer to do something, whether it's writing postcards, phone banking, knocking on doors, but vote and volunteer.
Yeah, that's true, guys. We need to get going on this. We're going to see ice and those type things more often.
Good morning, I'm back. I am back now wearing my hat as your volunteer coordinator. It's all about volunteering this morning. And I have props, which I'm very excited about. Thank you all for getting up and showing up and being here. There's a great kind of exciting energy, which I appreciate. And again, Michelle, thank you for talking, sharing your story with us, and the drive down from Greenville. All right, as you might have heard, we have this banquet coming up at the end of the month. So first thing that I want to remind you about is that during that banquet, we give out several awards, one including the Wanda Moore Community Servant or Service Award. On the table in the back is information about that award. This is the last weekend to nominate somebody for that award. So Wanda Moore was part of this organization, and she was the first community care director for services. She was somebody who gave to the community, did not expect recognition, but worked in lots of different areas. So if you know anyone that you would like to acknowledge for their volunteer work, for their service to the community, this is a great opportunity to do so. There is only one individual each year that wins, but one of the nice things is the committee sends a letter to all the folks that are nominated, letting them know that somebody thought enough of them and their work to recognize them. So I think that's a really nice recognition, although not the award, that we have the opportunity to give to people that we know in the community. And I've heard from a couple people that they wanted to nominate somebody, but they didn't really know all that they do. That's okay. Nominate them based on what you know of that person and the work that that person does. Okay, next, with the Carnell Drummond Mays Banquet, I know that Ann was up here earlier and mentioned our keynote speaker, Annie Andrews. I also want to tell you, I'm going to give you a little preview of something that I'm very excited about. With our honorees, with Carnell, Drummond, and Mays, we will have individuals who knew those folks speaking. also to tell us a little bit more about these historic figures. So I'm excited about that. And that leads me into our call for volunteers. So on the table there's a sheet, grid, kind of looks like this, but with no names or very few names on there. We definitely need some volunteers to help to make this a successful event. Sorry about that. And when we're talking about volunteers, there's some things you can do ahead of time. There's some things you can do day of. And when we're looking for people who can do a couple hour shift to help the event move forward. We need people who have the night before to set up. We're setting up here. We have some people who need to make phone calls ahead of time, reminding people that the event is happening, letting them know how to get their tickets or purchase their tickets. We need some people the day of to help with parking. If you are assisting with parking, you're not parking cars, because some people thought they would be parking like doing a valet system. No, you're standing on the corner looking cute, doing like this kind of stuff. Just pointing, and you can even be sitting in a chair. We are going to have 3 different areas for folks to park, not just here. And so we want to make sure people know where the other parking areas are. And then we will have golf carts bringing folks who don't want to walk or not able to walk down and dropping them off right in front. We don't need anybody driving the golf carts. We got that covered. We just need people kind of directing people to the other parking lots. We need people at the check-in table. So that's something that you work early on, and then you're done and can join the rest of the evening. We need greeters. Greeters are super important, and I know raise your hand if you already signed up to be greeters. We are gonna have a great time. We got like 4 greeters already signed up. Jan, you don't know this, but there's been a request for everyone to wear white, so you guys are easy to identify, helping people get to their seats, get to their tables, know the lay of the land, and just start the event off on a really positive note. Then at the end of the night, we need some exit volunteers. That's just thanking people, and then we'll have a handout to give people as they leave, letting them know about upcoming events. And then for all my folks out there with a little OCD, we need you for cleanup, okay? And seriously, cleanup goes really fast. It's like an hour and we're done. Everyone thinks it's gonna take hours. No, many hands make light the work. So please think about that. Sign up. You can just leave it there on the table, and I will be following up with you on that. Okay, I have just a few more things. Thanks for hanging in there. Next is, I'm going to continue to plug probably every month our newly established lending library, because I'm super excited about it. I saw some people taking books today. Yay. So it's set up there, honor system, help yourself to books, take them, bring them back. There's no time frame. There's no thing where you're signing out to check them out. If you don't want to bring them back and you know somebody you want to pass it on to, go for it. The idea is to get the books read. And then if you have some books that are appropriate for our lending library, bring them in and we will add them to the mix. Let me know if you have any questions about that. Then next is Get Out the Vote Greenwood. Greenwood County Democratic Party is working with NAACP and 5051 Greenwood to work on getting out the vote. So for people who have a pen, I want you to write this phone number down. Write it down somewhere that you will have access to. This is the phone number that folks can call if they need rides to the poll. And we are going to do our best to get people to early voting, or if needed, day of. Everybody ready? You got your pens? Oh, I love it. I see people with their pens. Okay, the number is 864-992-6715. Again, 864-992-6715. So along with Get Out the Vote Greenwood, we are working on setting up some voter registration at Piedmont Tech, at Lander, and then also setting up at the 2 high schools to do voter registration there for the students that are turning 18 between now and Election Day. Speaking of voting, we have this handy slip of paper that has 2 QR codes on here that will help you to check your registration, and if you need to register to vote. Does anybody want copies of these to keep like in your pocket, in your purse, in your car, or to hand out to people. Wave your hand up in the air, and then Vanna White is going to come by and distribute them to you. All right, and keep the hands up. She's fast. She'll be there in no second. The other thing that GOTV Greenwood is doing is our party is paying for these fans. This is a mock-up, but eventually we will have fans that have the QR codes on the back, QR codes for information about the candidates, and then information about our party, and then names and photos of all of the candidates that are running. So we want to distribute these. Our target audience as right now is churches. So there is a blank piece of paper on your table. Lane, can you demonstrate a blank piece of paper so everyone knows what I'm talking about? All right, so on that, if you have a church that would put these in the church, please write that name down on that piece of paper so we can be outreaching to them. This one is going to get ordered this week. We'll get them back the following week, and then we want to get them out. So, and don't think, oh, somebody else put the name down. You go ahead and put the name down, please. And then our slate cards. We have these fabulous slate cards that your party has paid for, has generated. We don't have the lieutenant governor on there because we didn't know about him at the time. If you need slate cards, I have slate cards. These are great to hand out to people so they know who to vote for. You can take these with you when you vote as long as you're not flashing them around, since they have our logo on there and says Democratic. But you can put it in your pocket, you can put it in your purse and take it into the booth with you. I'm going through, make sure I used all my props. Boom, 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 boom. All right, any questions about all that stuff I covered, which was a ton? The fan. Okay, so, all right, thank you, I appreciate your time. And again, thank you all for coming out. I think we're gonna have a great rest of the day. The rain's not gonna be here. I'm just calling it out. No rain until tomorrow. Thank you.
Yeah, we got plenty of food, guys. Take it home. You'll need it for later. Carl, next.
All right. We have some community events that are coming up in September, which is after our Carnell Drummond Mays dinner. And after that, we still got a lot of work to do. And it's a honor and a privilege to serve along with some of these executive board members who are so hardworking with everything and pitching in and trying to make sure we get the best results possible. Make sure that you notice that next month, September, the first Saturday will be Labor Day weekend. So our Saturday breakfast meeting is going to be September the 12th. We have some great speakers coming about different community organizations here in Greenwood. You don't want to miss that meeting. And then the week after that, September the 19th at 9 o'clock, we're doing our trash pickup along Cokesbury Road. We're going to meet at Emerald Baptist Church. And it usually takes like hour and a half, 2 hours. So you guys are free the rest of the day. And then September the 26th at the Uptown Market, Here for a Reason is having their walk and run. It's an annual event, and it raises awareness for suicide prevention and mental health. And thank you, Bill, for supporting their T-shirt today. So make sure you guys come out and get involved in the community with the election coming up soon. The more people that we have out there, the better. Thank you.
All right, folks, don't forget the food over there because we do need to use it. Don't forget the schedule and make sure you get your tickets. Now, here's one thing you need to do. How many of you like to walk to exercise? Just go strolling. How many of you? I do that. Stop at every neighbor's house in that route. Go talk to them. My block is not that short, but talk to them, even the ones that hissed at me and growled at me because they're megas. But talk to them about it. Some of those Republicans are waking up and they're realizing the golden boy is not the golden boy in Washington. So make sure you get them and they vote for the right person. And make sure you tell everybody about this handsome gentleman, our future governor. If there's no questions, everything I think is covered, head for the Mays Center. Thank you.